Hey, Blue Cheese.
Welcome to Hey What?
I'm Brian. I'm the lead of podcast.
I'm Parker.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Talal.
And this is our first episode, and we're going to be with Mr. Wilson as our first guest since he's the coach. Okay, so...
Basically, we were kind of all in a competition.
Yeah, we were at a competition.
And we were goofing around.
And given a microphone.
Yeah, we were given a microphone. That was a bad choice.
Microphone, and it wasn't a good idea to give us a microphone.
And then they wrote me into it.
And we started talking about Pokemon a lot.
Lots of Pokemon.
And then we started commentating. One of the old commentators started teaching us how to commentate, and so we did that for a while. And then I had a random idea to do a podcast.
Very good idea to do a podcast.
You were at the actual competition.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, is this at one of their first?
Yeah, this
was
at
the first time we were in the
second
center
time that we were
hallway.
at Deep Run.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
But we only had one microphone, so we had to keep passing it around.
Yeah.
And so then we decided to do a podcast.
We were like the only ones paying attention, though. And like all the other people were just like watching the screen.
You have given me the distinct honor of being your first guest on your podcast.
Yes.
And yeah, you're like one of the most important members of the team.
Yeah.
Oh, he's one of the most important. Who's the most important?
Probably been on the team the longest.
Not true. Actually, Miss Coots has been on the team longer.
Oh, Miss Coots. I always forget because I don't see her very often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, chairman's is something.
Chairman? She does chairman?
Yeah, she does chairman's. I do chairman's.
Right.
She helps a lot.
Bruh. She does chairman's.
I didn't know that.
She's very good at chairman's.
I rarely see her.
She hasn't been around because of, COVID.
So, I guess next thing is, what is blue cheese and why is blue cheese? So why blue cheese in the first place? What made you get into robotics in the first place?
Well, in 2015, no, strike that, 2005, I'm losing my mind. I moved to the Richmond area. I was looking for a job, so I got a job in Goochland. And the specialist for Ed came to me and said, "Hey, Matt, would you like to run a robotics program?" I'm like, "Sure." I had absolutely no idea what you're talking about, but I had time, so we did it. And it was actually first Vex Challenge back in the day before it was FTC. And we did that, and we stunk at it, but it was kind of fun. And then she said, "Hey, there's a bigger program that starts in 2 months in January. Why don't you do that one too?" I said, "Okay." And we started 2106 in Goochland in 2006, and I've been doing robots ever since. So when I left Goochland about 11 years ago, I was originally coming over to Deep Run to be the assistant coach of 1086. But there were some coaching changes right before I came in here. So I became the head coach of 1086.
How long would you say it took you to like get into a groove of helping people build robots?
Build season, off season, preseason.
Blue Cheese was the first team I was at that actually did a full year-round program. Mm-hmm. So it took me about a year, maybe a year and a half, to figure out how Blue Cheese worked, how the students interacted with the mentors interacted with the students, how the team interacted or didn't interact with the school. And about 18 to 24 months.
We're stuck with them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Before it was Blue Cheese, it wasn't a team called the Pirates of the Black Pearl or something.
When did that change happen?
Yeah, it happened. Now, I don't know the date. That's a Miss Coots question. She's sort of the
historian.
She's been through this, and I don't remember what year that was, but it was a couple of years before I showed up. So you guys can probably look on BlueAlliance.com and figure that one out. But they've gone to Worlds one year and realized that they have been overlooked. They had a pretty good robot, but there were a lot of pirate-based teams that year, so they thought they got overlooked because they look like everybody else. So they came back, and the kids said, "We need to rebrand the team." And they came up with Blue Cheese because blue was the secondary color of Deep Run, and they used to put holes in the robots that made them look like cheese, so it was called Blue Cheese. And that was that, and we've been Blue Cheese ever since.
Do you have a favorite of our robots?
A favorite robot? Oh man, I got lots of favorite robots. I also got robots we don't talk about anymore. My favorite robot before in my first pre-Blue Cheese robots was my second robot. It was for that silly game that went around in corners. It was Overdrive, I think it was. So we designed this robot that looked we got the idea from a measuring tape. So we had this big measuring tape that went around the ball, and would cinch the ball up. We'd go around the track with it, and then we just lift the head up and remove the band and the ball go bouncing out and then score points and stuff. That was really cool.
That was FTC?
That was FRC. That was my second year. So that was 2008, I think it was. And then, but for Blue Cheese Robots, God, there's so many good ones.
About Brie.
No.
Which one was Brie?
Brie was the one that was... I don't remember the design. Oh, that was like before American?
Oh, no, that one was Carefully, wasn't it? The one that did did picking up the crates and stuff.
I don't remember.
I'll have to go look that one up.
That was before
my favorite one would be, because it was world championship winner, might have been American. And then there was Gorgonzola, who was the arm robot, and I like that one because not because it did well. It didn't do very well. It was just kind of a cool design. We tried it out. And my other favorite one was from Power Up. Which one was that one? I forget the names.
Like the rocket ship one, or the one with the central?
No, wasn't Gorgonzola the one with the arm?
Gorgonzola was the arm. Which one was the one with the elevator? Was that Atalas?
Yes, it was Atalas. That's the one. Yep. Those are my two favorites right now.
I think Gorgonzola was the first one for me, Zach, and Brian.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one that we went to Worlds on. I think we got that on Chairman's that year. Robot didn't do all that great, but it was a lot of fun. Played good defense. It was a fun experiment.
My favorite's Opus 42, because that's the only one I've been through.
That's not a bad one. It did all right.
It did much better than it should have.
No, I think the other way around. I think it could have done better than we actually ended up.
Well, if it didn't blow up, yeah.
Opus blew up.
I thought it just fell apart.
No, Indexer just popped right off. Those
yes. The feeder popped off.
I missed that.
Yep, it was dangling on the ground in our last event.
Well, you've been doing Blue Cheese about as long as I've been alive. So what changes have you seen?
You've been doing Blue Cheese for longer than he's been alive.
Are you calling me old?
No, I'm calling myself young.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
You are a seasoned veteran.
Aged with.
I've aged well.
Like wine and cheese. We are
like cheese. Yes. What's changed? Not much, actually. You could take any student from any year and pop them into a Blue Cheese year, and they would fit right in. The culture, not to get too cheesy, has pretty much stayed pretty consistent. I give that a lot to Miss Coots and what she's brought, consistently brought into the program. And the mentors have been here long have done a good job doing that. The kids have done a good job of, instilling that culture into the team. We're always been student focused and a mentor approved. So I get to be the bad guy and say yes or no to things about budgets and that sort of thing. But, all in all, it's the same program. It ebbs and flows. Some years we have kids that are really into the program and spend hours and hours and hours, and they're very, very, hardcore. And we have other kids who are more, they do it as a pastime, and you know the difference when you see the robot in the field, or you hear us in the stand cheering, or chairman's, for example, on how many kids we have in outreach. So depending on how that year's kids are focused and put energy in the team, you know how good the team is that year. It always comes from the students.
We still helped a lot. This year you got the Woody Flowers Award. You became a nominee.
No, that's. I'm always the last person. I don't want to be the Woody Flowers Award nominee. Usually, whenever I can, I try to make sure it's someone else. It was Miss Westhoven before she left. So it's. I don't do that for the award. So I try and get the other mentors in a chance to shine that way. I'm a coach. Everyone sees me. Everyone knows what I do. I think it's more important that I shine a light on what other mentors do. But it's always fun to be nominated. That's for darn sure.
Miss Coots won. Did she get all the way to Worlds?
She won the district event, so she's a Woody Flowers Award finalist. I think that's what they call them. So she's a winner. So she gets called down every year when they award the award again. But I'm still fuzzy on how that whole championship one works. I'm not sure if the team has to keep nominating them in terms of no one else. So if we want Miss Coots to go on, do we nominate her repeatedly year after year after year? Or do we just have to, I don't know how that works.
She deserves it.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. So you say you could plop anybody from any year into one place and it would be similar. So do you think that's always a good thing? Because that kind of makes it sound like you're stagnant. So do you have any changes that you would propose? Anything you want to do going forward?
Well, What do I want to change? I'm not sure that's a relevant question because my job isn't to change things. My job is to give you the students an opportunity to do what they want to do. So the question is, what do the students want to do? What do the students want to change? I have lots of ideas, but unless the students buy in and do it, what I want is irrelevant.
Earlier you said that like you aren't doing this for any sort of recognition. So would you say that being the coach of a robotics team has become more of like a passion job for you?
Yeah, I don't get paid much, that's for sure. The amount I get to be quote unquote coach, I burn up in gas.
Oh.
So to go to and from PCS. So there's that. If it was by the pay, absolutely not. I do it because for several reasons. One, it gets me out of the classroom with my students. I get to see a different part of my students that I usually don't see in the classroom. I get one portion of you guys are very academic. Then I get the outside of school kids, which is usually much more interesting. It gets me out. It gets me involved in a different kind of STEM activity. Pure science that is physics is a little stagnant sometimes. So be able to apply that to something and help the kids see how physics applies to a situation is always fun. And you guys are never boring. I'll tell you that. So yeah.
Would you say like working in like an outside space outside of school like helps that quality of students like reach its like apex?
Help me clarify.
Like doing it at PCS, is that what you're asking?
Does doing it at PCS like
change
help
or would it be
those
better
kids like come out of their shells more?
No, it's more of out of the classroom thing. My ideal situation would be we'd have something the size of a small gym, right? It would just be for robotics. I'm not just talking about first. I'm talking about a VEX team, the TSA VEX team if they ever do that again, an FTC team. Yeah, they used to do VEX. I'm not sure they're doing it anymore. I know they used to.
That's in fact used to.
So now I would love to have a location where we can have our robots on site. Do you know how many kids have noticed the robot in my room this past week and said, "Wow, I didn't know it was that cool."
In a physics class.
What's that?
Pretty sure almost everyone in a physics class.
Yeah, everyone's like, "That's cool." I've got in third block, I've got Miss Kern's study hall, and the kids were like drawn to it like flies.
Yeah, I sit right next to it in that study.
Exactly. So some random kid was looking and going, "That's cool," and to see the robot do drifting spins in the middle of the gym, some kids went, "Okay, that's cool." And how crazy it is that high school students get excited about catching a ball from robots.
It was something.
That was interesting.
I was the day of the pep rally, I was at work, and one of my coworkers, I was talking to her about it. She's like, it was crazy. It was so fast. It was like shooting the baskets. They couldn't score like every time. It was awesome, and that was like real cool. It's like I was a part of that. That's like
I was setting it up all day. I got to miss a lot of school. But every time anyone walked in, they would always like ask what it was doing or try to have a dunking competition, so to speak, with the robot. It was interesting.
Those gym classes would come in, and the first thing I would see, they would be surrounding that whole part of the gym, looking at what the robot was doing. Yeah. That's pretty cool. We should, if we had the program at school, that would be a big plus.
Yeah,
we could bring the robots out all the time. We'd be more prominent in the school
with other students who are on the team.
Exactly. Yeah. That would be my pie in the sky change. If we're talking about change still, it would be to get the team in school doing our program for the most part in school.
Do you think that we'll be able to perhaps like do another like parade that we did with Pepper Jack where we like drove it down the halls?
Yeah, no problem with that. It's a great idea.
Yeah, that was like before COVID.
Yeah, it was right before COVID.
Yeah.
It was right before COVID.
I don't remember that.
It was when we still had an hour-long lunch.
Yep, it was during the lunch.
The good old days.
Might have been absent that day.
I mean, so everyone except me here is a senior. So what do y'all think? Because this is your quote-unquote last year. You might be alumni. But the thing is, anything you guys want to see different? Anything you're going to miss?
Well, I have him, so I'm going to still have...
Who's him?
My little brother.
Oh.
He's sitting in the corner for people who can't see because this is audio. Yeah. So he's going to still be on the team, so I might show up sometimes. So nice. I would like to see it at Deep Run, but I'm not sure that's going to happen soon instead of going out to PCS.
I mean, I'm going to VCU, so I'm going to be very close to school. I still want to like be involved in FRC because they have programs at college. Hopefully I can maybe pop into PCS sometime, like when I'm on break. So
it's been known to happen.
Yeah,
I've seen.
Yep. You know, Ishan, Stacy, Jack,
Casey.
Yeah, from time to time. Yep.
Casey helps. Is it
422? But he's popped in a couple times.
The Dragons.
Yeah, 422.
And then I'm gonna be in Ashland in Randolph-Macon, so
Sweet.
So I'm just gonna be like right next door to PCS.
Oh wow!
Whenever you want to come up,
That's convenient.
you know that's available.
We can do camping trips.
We don't discuss that here.
No, we do not.
Yeah, that's wow. I'm getting old, so I'm doing that next year too.
Camping trips?
Well, that going to college.
Yeah.
Camping trips though. Yeah.
I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna miss the team. It's like this. Like helped me choose what I want to go to college for, and that like helped me like set me on the path that I'm probably gonna get like most out of life for.
Yeah, I mean, it was either doing Blue Cheese or like wasting my entire day playing video games, and statistically, this is a better use of time.
Marginally. I'm a big part of playing video games, which I'm probably going to do when I leave here and head home. When my kids show up, I'll be online. But it's cool to hear that because I, as a coach, you guys, I get kids for 4 years, right? And then a lot of them take off, and we never see them again. I might get the odd person come back for a year, and a person come back 2 or 3 years to say hi at events, and then that's it. So I never get to see that impact that we have. Because no one stays in Richmond for some strange and odd reason.
Weather sucks.
Yeah. Coming back from New Jersey, I can confirm it is like very sad here. So sad here. There was no clouds in the sky.
I haven't been
there.
in New Jersey in so long.
Yeah, so to hear Zach say that is awesome. So what I would, if I were looking at more changes, are we still on that topic, or would you move on?
Theoretically, we're still on changes.
Yeah. So anyway,
we can loop back around.
It's all good. So changes. What I'd love to do is get more contact information from all alums for 2 reasons. One, I want them to come back after that they get the degrees and they start working in industry for a couple of years. I want them to come back and help support the team because the team's big and we're running on me. I'm the only professional coach. We have Ms. McCandlish, who is, team mom. Excellent assistant coach. She does an amazing job.
Yeah, she just got assistant coach.
Ms. McCandlish.
Oh, I thought you said a second person after that.
No, Ms. McCandlish does an amazing job.
Yeah, I know.
And gentlemen, if you don't do something for Mother's Day for her, I'm just ordering all of you. So you've been warned. And that's this Sunday, by the way. So
I know when Mother's Day is.
All right. Guys, we forget.
Hey, Google,
no, I asked her
set a reminder for Sunday.
My mom's birthday sometimes falls on Mother's Day.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah,
My
just
birthday
trying to remember when Mother's Day.
My birthday sometime is on Mother's Day as well. So it's,
my birthday's always on the 4th of July.
Month, is it?
that's cool.
Always. Shocking how that works.
Yeah, it's very shocking how that works.
Then we got Ms. Coots, who has been doing chairman since this was, I think, right before Moses showed up. Okay, so for a very long time. and she's going to stop doing chairmans. She's going to retire from chairmans this year.
Oh,
so we're going to look at transitioning to a new chairman's mentor, whether it's me or someone else. We're going to be transferring over, and we need help. We have several parents who stepped up and said, "Hey, we want help with this, that, and the other, but we need some folks with some true engineering and computer experience that are willing to step up and help out on a regular basis."
Just from an advocacy perspective, seeing as most of what I do, I've had a lot of freshmen after kind of seeing the chairman's video this year, kind of ask what chairman's is and like they want to join it next year. So I think we'll have a good influx of kids next year. I didn't actually know the coach was changing until now, so that's news. And to your point about seeing people after they're done with Blue Cheese, one of the things we're doing for advocacy right now is looking at the longitudinal studies that FRC has conducted for their own students. And I was thinking of doing something similar where we get the contact information of a couple of people who are leaving and just check in with them to kind of help with our chairmans and statistics to see how it's kind of impacted them. Because that's something we can draw on.
Yeah, we know from a coaching perspective, I know we've impacted kids.
Yeah.
I know we have. The question is, I can't quantify or qualify that impact. But it is what it is, right? Chasing awards. I know that's one of those weird things that we talk about is how do we improve, and one of the things we keep talking about is how do we measure the impact we have, right?
Yeah.
And we know that's an issue for us, but that would be fun. I would love to. If nothing else, for just to see what my old students are doing would be awesome. I would love to know that.
Yeah, that's something.
So wait for you guys, all my old students who are hearing this podcast.
They're all going to listen.
What's that?
They're all going to listen.
They're all going to listen.
Everyone.
Every single one.
Every single one of your thousands.
So oh my God, how many is that?
How long?
So I've been teaching since 2004. So I'll finish up 2000.
You've been teaching as long as I've been alive.
So that's
Longer than me.
18 years.
About 18 years.
And
Is that 18 years? Is that right? Am I right?
18.
Okay.
So
Considering
how many
classroom.
classrooms do you
So let's say that I have roughly 120 students a year.
Okay, so
So 18 times 100.
yeah,
Yeah, I can do that in my
That's
head.
thousands.
it's
thousands.
Around 2,000.
I pulled up my calculator.
2,960.
2,160.
I'm bad at math. My bad. But then you can also account for what it is.
And then I got robots kids on top of that. They're in
exactly.
class.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, because
Yeah,
are most of the
them.
pit crew in your classes? I don't.
No, Eli's not my class.
Eli, Emily.
Maggie's in your class.
Emily was in last
Basically,
year.
all of junior robotics is in my class. So that's something.
Not many junior robotics right now.
Maya, Ben,
COVID.
Mena,
Yeah, aren't most of the team freshmen?
Actually,
Isn't it 50%?
we have 65% rookies and 35% veterans.
That's cool.
I mean,
We are first.
So sad. Our chairman's a word presenter.
Aren't you excited next year to be one of the few people who's...
Yeah, it'll be interesting that I'll finally be part of the quote unquote veterans. Because shocker, I'm still theoretically a rookie.
I'm still kind of a rookie.
Welcome to
This is your
COVID
second
life,
time
right?
being a
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my second time being a rookie.
This is your second time.
Well, Brian, you didn't show up until after Bill's season.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of just showed up to PCS and then all of a sudden decided to join again.
That was after I decided to join.
He didn't show up until the very first event.
Competition. I went with him and decided to not go
He snuck
home.
in.
I was
snuck
the
in.
imposter.
He snuck in.
I was
and-
kind of sus.
And they said, man, I forgot how cool it is. And he stayed. And he's been doing it ever since.
Speaking of sus, we have a lot of Among Us references on our robot, don't we?
No, we don't have
Isn't
enough
it-
Among Us references on
Isn't
our
it just
robot.
two?
If I
No,
was
there's
involved
at
more,
least
there
three.
would be more.
I could at
So-
the pep rally, I could hear people saying yelling that they're about yelling at the suspect.
Yelling about how sus it is.
So
Yeah.
every person that entered second block
I
for
was
me
kinda
was like,
waiting
why
to
is
see
there
how
sus
long
on the
this would take.
robot?
Just
I don't know.
as a junior, it is my legacy to continue the Among Us.
No, hold on. So as a guy who's been doing this a while, one of the things that I noticed at D-Champs, to bring up early, not so great subject, is we got skunked for awards this year, didn't we?
We did, in fact, get some.
We got skunked. And I blame that on several things. But one of the things that we've done is we've sort of gotten away from the core blue cheese look of a robot, right? The blue cheese, was
Because
Too much Among
Gorgonzola
Us.
has a whole bunch of holes on it still, right?
no, and that in the color scheme and
Yeah.
that sort of thing, right? And I have zero problems with Easter eggs being on robots, but
We should hydro dip the blue and black, blue and yellow next year.
hydro dip or powder coat or something like that, so we get the full effect, right?
Well, we do have the Ukrainian flag on it, so that does match our colors.
It does indeed. I was very happy to see that on multiple ways, but it's one of those things. I see as an area of improvement is to get back to our core image.
Another
And
change.
again, I have no problems with Easter eggs in a robot. I think they're fun.
So you do want us to continue adding
Yes.
sus.
So
But-
we can
but-
add,
Let's make it a true Easter egg and not the
Just sus.
yeah
we
big
could instead
sus
of putting
plate.
sus, we could put an Among Us with a cheese hat on the.
yeah we have sponsors that can laser cut anything or water jet anything for us.
Minecraft's sponge block kind of looks like cheese.
Are we talking about Minecraft now?
Yeah,
Yes.
Minecraft.
I thought that was another podcast.
That probably will be another podcast. Looking at our schedule.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at our schedule,
We're going to play
right?
Minecraft, but without any of the visuals. Or just
Theoretically, Kai's
audio-
episode right now is called
audio
Pro
only
Gaming.
Minecraft. Oh yes, it is.
Oh,
that's
good
not
Lord.
theory. That's what.
Yeah,
they're calling it.
so theoretically, we could kind of tangentialize.
I should
into,
also ask Kai if they're going to be on this.
Yeah,
That's kind of important.
Yeah, you could ask them before you bring them on.
That might.
yeah.
that would be
That might be helpful.
I'll kidnap Ben if push comes to shove.
Let's see, how many people do I have to ask?
Are you going to ask
Would Ben do
Ben
it?
and Rachel?
Yeah.
Do you think?
I asked
Yeah.
him. So Kai is the only one I
Are we
haven't
gonna like
done
edit
that.
some of this stuff? Some of this
Yeah, I asked
stuff out, or
Eli,
should we go
and-
away?
I
course,
mean,
Eli
it really
being
depends.
Eli.
I'll look at it in post-processing and we'll decide.
You know what I think you could do? You could do like random sponsor cut-ins.
That's the plan.
That way you can sort of
When we're in like the Midas is Richmond type of time
we're
period.
selling oil coupons to everyone.
Yeah. So you can when things start to get a little sus in the conversation, you say you can turn it down and
Wait, this is for
down.
advertising.
And I'll be
Yeah.
I can be like,
Any
go to
response?
bluecheese1086.org to purchase merch today.
Right.
Or
And
just
or this
sponsor us.
section of the pod of Hey What is brought to you by Midas of Richmond and blah 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 blah. Right. So you can do that sort of thing. I just hope that this continues because 1, I think it's hilarious.
It is.
2, I think it's great practice on skills. Right. And 3, I think it's a great way to tell our story.
Yeah.
And all 4 of those things I can't count today is important. And I want this energy to continue. And the coach, I'm getting on my coach soapbox. Here we go. Boom, boom. And because every year it's the same thing, right? Every year it's like, oh my gosh, we need to do more. We get more energy in the team. And then 3 weeks later, everyone's like, AP exams, summer, catch y'all later. And then, we start all over again. So maybe we could have a podcast episode on summer slacking.
Yeah.
And what we can do during the summertime.
That'll probably
We
be
did it for some time.
The next one we're doing is about outreach stuff we plan on doing over the summer.
Cool.
So we'll see how we slack on that.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Keep going, 'cause I know
make a list about what we plan on doing, and at the end we'll see
How much of
the
what we
2
actually
items
do.
we did do.
Yeah.
They don't have to be long. They just have to be done.
Wait, we're recording right now?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, this whole
we're almost at the 30-minute mark.
So what will happen is you guys are just going to cut some of this down. Right? Is there anything else you want to talk about today, gentlemen?
That is a great question.
One thing I was going to add, this could also be a good way for like new members to like know like older members. Because like something I've noticed is that like some people don't know who other people is.
I don't know.
Stacey Mesher?
No.
Yeah, like he's never met
Stacy, Casey. I've met Ishan.
I met Ishan. I only saw him a few times when I was
More
in
than
10th grade.
Well, that was COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was when I was
So
in 10th grade.
Stacy graduated
the
the
year before, right?
year before COVID.
Yeah, so she came to Arthur Ashe Center during that one. I saw
Right
her
before
then.
COVID, right? And then I think we had
that weekend was.
we had a bunch of alums come back that weekend, right? Remember that? We had like 10 or 15 of them. That was a fun event. Not only did the robot do well.
Yeah, the robot did really
And again, just to talk about robots for a second. For me, I really don't care whether the robot does well or not because I have fun regardless, but it is a lot more fun when your robot's winning.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more fun. A day of bad robots beats about anything. But a day of good robots is pretty hard to beat.
I remember it was last off or something, and Gorgonzola couldn't get to like the top hab, and then there was like this ramp bot, and like for everyone else, the ramp bot like got the robots like up to the top hab, but when it was Gorgonzola, we fell off.
Oh no, the anti-tip code kicked in. So that we weren't expecting to climb ramps, so we had a code that would get to about 30, 45 degrees. It would actually make you go backwards, so you wouldn't tip over. So we were trying to go up this ramp, and the robot was like, "No, I'm not," because I'm getting ready to tip over. So it kept doing this on the ramp and just got stuck. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was hilarious. And as soon as we saw it happening, the 2 drivers and myself went anti-tip code. We started laughing. It was great.
I think the one thing that I vividly remember about Gorgonzola was the very first competition. I think it was at Deep Run when the arm just snapped straight backwards.
Nearly killed Lisa, the referee. Yeah, that's the
How
thing.
often do referees get hit? Because it seems to happen a lot.
Our robot does it quite a lot.
Yeah, at least once.
40 penalty points, guys.
That was for hitting. That was
hitting other robots.
That was for hitting other robots and going everywhere.
Almost the referee went oops and walked backwards. Our most infamous moments was during what was the game? It was a soccer game. Breakaway.
Oh, I was thinking
it was Swiss. We were Swiss that year with Breakaway, and we were playing at the Siegel Center, and Dean Kamen was there.
Oh, I thought this was American.
No, this was Swiss.
Yeah, this
is
before
before my time. But there's a picture of it. So during one of the matches that 1096 was in, they launched a ball, or someone launched the ball at them, and eventually whatever happened, the ball smacked in, came straight in the face. That was...
I shouldn't laugh. But it's
No, it's fine. It's hilarious. But Dean, I'm sorry if you're reading this. We apologize. Sorry. Make a mental pause here. Is there anything else, guys?